So first of all, congratulations on the success so far. You've been brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much.
You started your career in one of the biggest shows of all time. So how has that journey been so far?
Wild. I mean, I think I'm only just coming to terms with it recently. Kind of realising just how weird my childhood has been. I mean, there are so many situations where people end up on shows that kind of completely take over their lives and maybe things that they look at for the rest of their life, like, oh God, I wish I could have got away from that. I think everyone would agree with me from Game of Thrones in saying that we have been so lucky with the nicest crew, cast, producers, world, and it means that we've all just spent 9 years with really close friends creating something really beautiful, and that is, one of the most special memories I think we could ever ask for.
Right. What's the coolest thing about having grown up on the show?
I think for me, one of the coolest things is that pretty much anywhere you go in the world, there'll be someone who's excited to meet you and will want to say hello or whatever. It's made making friends really easy because you can go to, wherever, Canada, Australia, Singapore, and there'll be people who'll be so thrilled and excited to see you and just want to talk to you about the show or whatever. It just kind of opens up the world. Yeah, I think that's pretty special. So
what can your fans expect from your character on Season 8?
Well, I mean, I think the thing is we're seeing Bran really evolve into the Three-Eyed Raven. In Season 7, he was all kind of a bit overwhelmed, I think, because he kind of had everything downloaded into his head, the entire history of the universe. Whereas now he's kind of, I think, relaxing into it a bit more. And there are obviously a lot of questions that need to be answered and things that need to be said in Season 8, so
yeah.
Brace yourselves.
What's your learning curve been like, playing Bran as a kid to now Bran as the Three-Eyed Raven?
Yeah, big. It was really interesting to get to suddenly play a whole new character. Not many people get to do that on a TV show. And it also kind of coincided with me becoming an adult, really, and kind of actually realising that I could do something quite cool with the character and suddenly actually really transform myself. Because before I was always sort of a kid playing a kid or a teenager playing a teenager, whereas this was something completely alien and different and new. And I really enjoyed the challenge of kind of being this emotionless, wise old tree wizard and keeping it sort of fresh and interesting. Right. So yeah, it was a really fun character to get to play.
I know you love reading fan theories, so what's the most ridiculous fan theory you ever read?
That Varys is a mermaid. That's like a legit fan theory. People are actually kind of believing that one. It's because he gets everywhere so quickly, apparently.
And they never show his legs, except one scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Being the Three-Eyed Raven, he has these abilities. Which ability would you like to have in real life, if you could?
Do you know what? I mean, I wouldn't say no to having Bran's abilities. I think having the entire history of the world could be pretty useful. I mean, could I have a dragon in real life? I'd do that. I'd have a dragon.
Sure, that would be cool.
That'd be pretty neat.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you need a big place to sort of store them. They get quite large.
If you could have any Game of Thrones character as a confidant?
It would have to be Samwell Tarly.
Why?
Yeah, because I think he's a hugely trustworthy and wise man, and gentle and sweet, and he'd be the kind of person who'd really listen to you, and I think actually provide some really sound advice.
Aww.
I mean, I think John Bradley, who plays Samwell Tarly, it could be a pretty good confidant.
And lastly, the show has a way of creating really epic death scenes. So if you could choose the way your character dies, how would you have it go down?
Something really expensive and difficult for him to do. I'd like to sort of be flayed alive and then, boiled for a bit, and then I'd like gold poured over my head like Viserys.
Thank you so much for the chat and wishing you all the best.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.